In this video, we cycle into Sweden and make our way from Grisslehamn to Örebro, exploring Stockholm, discovering the sustainable city of Eskilstuna, admiring Swedish architecture, and enjoying some unforgettable warm showers hospitality along the way. We're in Sweden! We're in Sweden! Woohoo! We took the ferry from Örebro in the Åland Islands to Grisslehamn, Sweden, and set our sights on Stockholm as our goal for the day. Sweden greeted us exactly as we had expected, with quiet roads and seemingly endless forests. Even though this was already the 20th country of our nearly 2-year journey, we were still as excited to explore somewhere new. I'm just standing in the car park waiting for Steve to come out of the shopping mall and flying the tent. Feeling a bit homeless, if I'm honest. And Steve's laughing at me.
Love it. Making the most of the time. This is what I like to see.
How is the shopping experience?
Good, yeah. It's loads of stuff and loads of good stuff actually.
Good prices?
Prices are similar to Finland, probably a little bit cheaper. So far. Yeah, first shop in Sweden, but so far good. Loads of bakery stuff and lots of nice cycling food, so excited to eat.
Perfect. After a few hours of quiet roads and forest tracks, we finally reached the outskirts of Stockholm. Stockholm is the capital of Sweden and the largest urban area in the Nordic countries. We love how Stockholm combines grand historic buildings with modern Scandinavian design, all surrounded by water. We had both visited Stockholm before, and it remains one of our favorite cities, so we were excited to explore it again. However, there was one thing we were even more excited about.
So I haven't been to Sweden for over 10 years. One of my favorite things about Sweden is the princess cake. And we found some here in Stockholm. You like it?
Yeah, it's really good.
It is super tasty.
We've been talking about it for years, so I'm glad we found it. We're in Stockholm.
Yeah, we cycled here from Uttana. It's crazy that we've come so far.
Yeah, 16 days it took us.
Yeah. And impressions of Stockholm?
Really nice city, really colorful, really peaceful actually. It was super nice this morning, blue skies and everything, and then it just got very cloudy.
Yeah,
suddenly
wet and a bit cold, but
yeah,
it's nice.
Nice. We wanted to cycle initially, but the cycle lanes here are not as good as in Helsinki.
No, nowhere near.
They kind of appear, then they disappear, merge with the road, then they kind of get separate again, and they merge again. It was just a bit chaotic yesterday, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't the nicest at times, but it's, really pretty city, colourful. It's built on, I think, 15 islands, need to double check that, but there's over 10,000 in the archipelago.
Yeah,
of Stockholm, a lot of islands. So really, Venice of the North is what they call it.
Feels like it there.
Yeah, and it's not as expensive again as we thought it would be. It's arguably even cheaper than Helsinki. So yeah, it's been quite a pleasant surprise in that sense. We thought it'd be crazy expensive, but it's definitely not.
I guess it depends what you want to do as well. Because we had a couple of museums, like ABBA Museum and then Photography Museum, and then we thought no, because ABBA was over 300 kronas,
it's
which
like
is
30 euros
per
person,
and the Photography Museum was about 450 for two of us.
Yeah.
So another
45
yeah.
euros in total. So things like that are pricey, yeah.
But if you want to walk around, have an occasional sort of coffee, and it's okay.
And then off tomorrow deep into the Swedish woods.
Exciting, actually. Yeah.
Just about to leave glorious Stockholm on this quiet Sunday morning. And yeah, it was a good experience. Stayed for 2 nights with a friend.
Yeah, warm showers host. It was really, really nice. And now we're heading out, 120k. Should be good, eh?
Yeah, it's just leaving the city is always the worst, but it feels totally chilled at the moment. So hopefully it stays this way. So 2 sandwiches from the supermarket here in Sweden and a lot of pastries. We have 2 Bureks in here and we have 4 more pastries in there and 2 cold coffees and 2 bananas. It was all about 12 euros. So yeah, supermarkets here are not, they feel a bit cheaper than Finland actually. So it's yeah, good and decent cyclist food as well.
Well, you can probably tell that eating healthy wasn't exactly our priority on this part of the trip. With so many kilometers to cover every day, we mostly grabbed whatever was cheap, quick, and convenient. Luckily, Sweden's pastries were absolutely incredible. They became a very important source of fuel as we pushed our way through the never-ending forests and fields. We are about 15 kilometers away from our destination and just cycled over 100k and feeling a bit tired today. Just, everything just feels uncomfortable and I can't be bothered today. But the day is nice actually. Nothing exciting happened. Just a lot of fields around, a lot. It's more of a mental challenge now rather than physical. What's going on?
I had an ant attack. I put my helmet on the ground for literally like 10 seconds. And it was crawling with ants. Hundreds of them. I think most of them are gone. But don't want ants crawling on my head today.
So we are about to leave Eskilstuna or something along those lines. We stayed with the warm showers host here last night, somewhere up there, and they were super lovely. Made us an amazing dinner. So yeah, we had a feast and really nice chat. Feeling a bit tired today. Didn't sleep that much to be fair. But yeah, heading to another warm showers host tonight and some place just past Örebro, so should be good. We love the waterfront and the city's mix of historic and modern architecture. Eskilstuna also has a fascinating reputation as a city embracing the green economy. It's home to Retuna, the world's first second-hand shopping mall, where every shop sells repaired, reused or upcycled goods. We continued our journey towards Örebro, admiring the Swedish countryside and architecture along the way. We just stopped for lunch at this Bagarn cafe, and this is the only place in Sweden so far where nobody spoke any English.
Yeah, it was very weird. Had to crack out some Swedish.
How do you go?
Went alright. I figured out the word for man is man. So so there we go. It worked to try to find out which one was the male and female toilet. But pretty easy. It's very similar to English actually. It's a lot of things in Swedish. So but yeah, very strange. In Sweden, the English has been absolutely perfect everywhere so far. So
Yeah, but it's nice to get a very kind of unique Swedish experience.
yeah,
Because everywhere else is just like, yeah,
yeah,
easy.
Yeah, it's too easy almost.
Too easy. English and Swedish are actually closely related languages, but unfortunately, we still didn't know enough Swedish to communicate with the locals. That didn't stop us from admiring the road signs. Swedish has some distinctive letters, and the umlauts on the signs made them look like they were constantly surprised to see us. We finally reached Örebro. The city is best known for its impressive medieval castle, which dates back to the 13th century and has been expanded and rebuilt over the centuries. Is this where you're staying tonight?
Yeah, this is our hotel. Looking good.
You wish.
I wish.
Örebro Castle.
Örebro Castle. Yeah, I came here 15 years ago on a school exchange for a few days. So I kind of remember little bits and bobs of the city. Pretty cycle-friendly actually.
Yeah.
Compared to mostly compared to other parts of Sweden, which have been a bit patchy, but this castle is 13th century castle, like the one on Åland Islands.
Medieval sort of castle, and then it was expanded in the 16th century. So yeah, it's a nice castle, and it's a museum now, but it's closed.
Yeah.
We got here quite late.
Yeah, but still, it's nice to. Glad we made the detour and came here.
Yeah. Instead of getting a castle for the night, we got something much better. We stayed with one of the nicest and most welcoming families we had met on the entire trip, thanks to warm showers. We had an unforgettable evening with them, the kind of evening that makes you remember why traveling by bike is so special.
Hello.
What's for lunch today?
Some decent goodies, some chicken wrap with fresh cheese and cabbage. It looks quite good actually, and some banana. They're like banana marzipan sort of sweets here, which are really tasty. Actually, we really like them.
We haven't tried these yet.
Yeah.
We've been eating the punch ruler.
Yeah. I think they're all marzipan, but I'm not actually sure. Godis, which is Swedish gummies basically, but they're really quite good value. And some, of course, kanelbullar, cinnamon buns, and finally some chocolate dates. So yeah, super healthy lunch, as you can see.
Not gonna eat it all at once,
No,
right?
no, they'll keep us going for the day. And yeah, it was not that expensive again, so yeah.
How much did you pay?
190 kroner, which is like 15 pounds, so 16, 17 euros, which is actually above what we've been paying, but it's a small village store, so it's more expensive than supermarkets. But
yeah, wraps alone were about 90.
About 90 for the wraps, which is 7 or 8 euros, and we also got coffee as well, which adds to it. So yeah, but people here in rural Sweden are like really friendly. Like noticeably, we noticed a big difference coming from the capital to here. People are waving, saying hi, and talking to us in the supermarket, and yeah, so definitely noticed a difference.
We are next to Kvistbro Church, which was built in 1662, and this is the bell tower actually, with 2 bells in it, from 1660, I think. And yeah, it's just a really beautiful church, so it's interesting to see.
It's smaller windows again. You can see it when you are inside the earlier.
Yeah.
So please go inside and look.
We also couldn't say no to this incredibly friendly lady who convinced us to go inside the church, and we were glad we did because it turned out to be absolutely stunning. We'll tell you more about our time in Sweden in the next video.